Hello, good morning. Welcome to day 18 of the Star Wars Advent Calendar. This time it is day 18, not day 17, thinking it was day 18, wishing for things to come a bit too quick. But also yesterday we did have a bit of a sneak peek on the Star Wars one from yesterday. But here's a very brief recap of all the characters. I'm not going to go through each one and explain each character, but as you can see we've got quite a few different characters and ships at the moment. And yesterday we had this repair droid from the Phantom Menace and other shows since then. So that's what you've had. So we'll put these guys to one side very quickly and we'll get cracking on today's one. I know what today's one is, so it's not a spoiler for me, but it might be a spoiler for you. Sorry, but it might be, a surprise for you. So it might be a surprise for me, but it was a surprise for you. So, Dio's drunk and he's fallen over. He's been at the mould wine already. Really? So 18 was somewhat up the top. Let's open it up. Well, actually, let me pull this out first anyway. As I said, I know what this is. And we have had this one before. It is a bit of a shame we're getting some repeats on these. Now, I know it's inevitable we're going to get copies at some point. It definitely would be good to get different ships so it's not the same one every single time. That would be really, really good. Get my good old base plate on here. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but these have been absolutely brilliant, these base plates. They've made this process so much easier and more efficient because they can keep things in one place with one hand instead of two to do it. There we go. Swig my tea. Okay, well, let's go for the obvious pieces, which once they're down, we've got half the ship done, which is this one here, followed by the second one of the same type but opposite direction. These triangle pieces are really cool. They've been doing these shapes for years. I don't know when they started doing these, but they've been doing these for a while. Ah, right, okay, I should have put this down. In hindsight, I should have put this one down first. That's okay. That's okay, we can sort that out. Which is fine, because it means we can add additional animation, so now I've got to try and get it off of the base plate. Hang on 1 second. Right, okay. Slight error. Let me put that back on again. I say this will make the animation more interesting later. So, although I'm getting this slightly wrong already, it is going to make the video I do for this a little bit more, the speed build a little bit more interesting. There's a bit more going on. And that's something I want to try and do with some of these videos. Not necessarily this one, but certainly ones going forwards, where I add a little additional animation. That's how I do want to do. Okay, so next up is this single one, I think. It's not abundantly clear, but based on what's going on top of that, I think that's the right one. And there should be another single one here. Single one. No, it goes in the back. That goes there. That's it. This particular ship is one of my favourites of the Star Wars genre. So when I saw it, I was very excited to do this one. And this is a different way of building this one as well. So the building technique is different. It's not an original ship in the sense of we've done this ship before a few times over the few calendars I've done, and it would be nice to see some of the other ships, some of the other vehicles. That would be great. Okay, doing a little square on the top, little flat clear square. Then we need one of these on this side, these little claw things. I mean, you can probably guess what ship it is by now. There's the other one. Oh, it's moving. Everything's moving. Stay still. Then we've got, it looks like it's this black piece that goes next, which is a bit of an interesting option there. Now in hindsight, I think I should have put that on first. Put all those base bits first before putting the windscreen on, but I'll have to remember for next time. I've done it now, but I think it would have been good to have the base of it first and then everything on top after the fact, but never mind. Doesn't matter. And then this part goes on the back here. Oh, that's the cannon thing. That's what it is. Then, right. I don't know if it's missing, but we seem to be missing one of these bars. This one on this side. It's not in the bag. Right. Oh no, there it is. We found it. For a minute I thought it was missing, but it just rolled on the side, on the edge. There we go. And there we have it. We have a little Snowspeeder. Now what I'm going to do is when I get a moment, I'll go through some of the older ones so you can see the previous ones, previous calendars we've done, and do a comparison. But that's for another video. Maybe in the new year we'll do that at some point. But this is the calendar. This is this year's version, which will go towards this year's calendar. Okay, so that's the Star Wars one done. What's your favourite Star Wars film from the whole 9 movies? I'm not going to say Rogue One and Solo in that list, purely because although they are Star Wars films, they are kind of more spin-offs. So I'm talking about the original of the actual official trilogy. So the official 9 films, the 9 series saga, which are your favourite? For me, Empire Strikes Back is my all-time favourite. And from what I've gathered, it's the favourite for most fans. Obviously, everybody's going to have their own take. There's always going to be exceptions. Some people are going to like other ones more than that one. But for me personally, and quite a few fans that I'm aware of, the Empire Strikes Back is the all-time favourite for most Star Wars fans that I'm aware of. But what's yours? What's your favourite original saga movie of the original 9? I'd love to know. So feel free to drop it in the comments what you think. and I'll be back in just a moment.